You ever been to a wedding where the marriage is doomed and everybody in attendance knows it? Right? Like the priest asked if there was any objections and there was audible shuffling. We were looking around, we're like, somebody save these kids! Please. I know a lot of people are struggling right now, though. I've seen some very concerning signs, right? For instance, the other night I ordered Uber Eats and a 65-year-old man on a bicycle delivered it to me. It's a little concerning. It was like, here I thought I ordered chicken fingers, not a frightening glimpse of my potential future. It's like, this guy's making me think about my own mortality. 2 stars, get him out of here. Okay for this. I have had a few jobs outside of comedy. For a while I was a teacher in Korea, and one of the worst to ever do it, I think. While I was there, I introduced my first grade class to the film The Lion King, and the bell rang right after Mufasa was trampled to death. Yeah. It was more of a semi-circle of life for those kids. I was like, hey guys, don't forget, your father can die at any moment. I'll see you Monday. Have a good weekend. Fun. I also had the rather unique experience of correcting a child's hate speech while I was there. Yeah. This kid wrote in his journal, God hate Japan. I was like, oh. It's like, actually, God hates Japan. It's like, you gotta conjugate your verbs, my man. It's an important part of this. Fuck Japan, this guy. This guy's a real piece of work back here, folks. It's good. Starting to see a trend going on with him. I have had one high-paying job in my life. Here's what it was. For a year and a half, I was actually the manager of a grocery store in a remote Arctic community in the Northwest Territories. Yeah. I don't know why you're applauding that, but it was basically selling cornflakes to guys who were fracking, so that's what it was. Food up north was very expensive. Not for me, of course, as I was stealing from the grocery store. It's a perfect little workaround, right? Like, I was the guy on staff who reviewed the security footage. I was like, hey, look at me go! I was like, I'm robbing the shit out of this place right now. This is great. I don't know if anyone's ever been to the north, but even with all the stealing, I was pretty sure I was the best employee we had on staff. It's the type of place where your employees show up to work drunk and you have to ask yourself, how drunk are we talking? I'm like, 4 beers, that's a workable buzz. We had one guy, he came in, he was looking absolutely ragged one day. I was like, what happened to you? This is what he told me. He said he got so drunk the night before that he got kicked out of his own home, so he slept in the crawl space underneath the grocery store. And get this, still late to work. It's like, or was he, right? He's in the walls. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he's right on time. Now I'm back to buying groceries. That's horrible, right? We're all getting gouged on groceries. And it's not just the price either. They're doing all this cute stuff with the packaging, you know? Like you go, you pick up 6 rolls of toilet paper. On the side, they're trying to convince you it's actually 12 rolls. They're like, 6 equals 12. You're like, am I really getting gaslit by Continental right now? Is that what this has come to? No. Times have actually gotten so tough for me that I've started grocery shopping at the dollar stores. Yeah, just me and one excited poor man over there. That's always nice. No, it's nothing but the freshest microplastics for my family. That's how we're doing it. I think we can all agree the dollar store, that's a pretty messed up place to shop, right? I feel like the dollar store, that's the only place you shop where you can be sure that you're actively contributing to the downfall of mankind. It's like every product you pick up, you're like, oh, is this completely unrecyclable and made at gunpoint? I think we can all agree, though, thank God we got that ocean, huh? What a problem solver that one's been. Where else is it going? I don't know. I'm joking, of course. I recycle. Do you guys recycle, or you don't answer these questions? Don't need you to weigh in on this one. No, I do recycle. Sometimes I even recycle things I'm not sure can yet be recycled. You know, whenever I don't know, I choose to believe. You gotta be the change you want to see in the world. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Right? I'm like, hey, batteries. Figure it out, guys. Like, I think you can do it. That's what I'm trying to say. I probably should be a little bit more concerned about the environment. I got a big announcement here. I'm about to become a father in a little over a month. It's a little girl as well, which I'm very excited about. I'm kind of relieved it's not a boy because I wasn't sure what I was going to do circumcision-wise, right? It's like on one hand, I would never want to cause my baby pain, but I also don't want them to have an uncivilized barbarian's penis. So, bit of a dilemma for me, right? I always like to get a little bit of like genital shaming out of the way early on. I'm hoping I'll be a good dad, better than my father was, which is a pretty low bar to be honest with you. My father was a stockbroker and also one of the worst to do it. When I was 8 years old, we actually lost our house on the stock market, and that's not necessarily the fun part, but it's like, ha ha ha. Good. No, we actually did lose our house on the stock market, and we went from living in a mansion to public housing. It was a very difficult adjustment. And I honestly think I had it worse than the other kids in the neighborhood because they had no idea what they were missing out on. Right? It's like those kids will never know just how cold a marble floor can become. Sweet. I've never been to therapy, though, to deal with any of this, because given that choice between my mental well-being and $100, I'm hanging on to that cash. It's like making sense of my childhood is not in the budget for me right now. I'm actually so poor I've had to become a Buddhist out of economic necessity. It's like, well, I guess I'm a broke bitch, better learn how to sit quietly, right? I'll be over here if you guys need me. I try to be a good person. It is tough, though, right? Occasionally I do things where I'm like, that's not what a good person would do, right? For instance, the other night I was walking home from a show and this disheveled man approached me on the street, and I'm not proud of this, but in my mind I was kind of preparing myself to refuse him change. You ever do that? You're kind of psyching yourself up, right? But then when the guy got closer to me, he was like, hey, do you want to buy some shrooms? I had to completely reverse my position entirely. I was like, here I thought you were some sort of street riffraff. I didn't know you were an entrepreneur. I was like, shit, we'll do the drug deal, right? But then midway through the transaction, I panicked a little bit. I was like, well, how do I know you're not a cop, right? And in response, he removed his teeth. It's like, that's actually a pretty solid answer. We'll do the drug deal. I do some things that are positive, I'll say, though. For instance, I've never been in a fight as an adult. I think that's a positive, right? I probably should have been once, though. Here's what happened. I was at a bar, and I watched my friend get punched in the face. Yeah, and as the punch was coming in, I remember thinking, maybe he's more of an acquaintance. I was like, how well do I know this gentleman? No, and I didn't jump into the fight either, because the guy knocked my friend out with one punch. So I was like, that seems pretty much resolved. I was like, I jump in now. This is a brand new altercation. We'll get our justice in the courts. We're gonna do it. I have been thinking of ways to compensate for my lack of masculinity. Here's what I've come up with. I'm gonna buy a gun. Yeah, here's why I've been thinking about getting a gun, because not a lot of people in Canada have a gun. So I feel like you kind of get like more gun for your gun. You know what I mean? Your gun goes a bit further up here, that's all I'm trying to say. I feel like when you're in America, you pull out your gun, everybody gets their gun out, you're like, what the fuck are we even doing here? You know, at least in Canada, you get to be the boss for a bit, right? Alright, I honestly feel like this joke would have gone over better if I had the gun right now. You're like, yeah, this one's actually not optional, folks. It's your favorite joke you've ever heard in your life.